This is Jim Pence from Hillbilly Report here in Elizabethtown, Kentucky, and I have Dr. Robinson with me. He's a candidate for Secretary of State for Kentucky, the Democratic candidate. He's going to run against Troy Grayson. And Doctor, would you tell us about your campaign team and how you plan to proceed in this election?
Thank you very much, Jim. I'm glad to be here on a beautiful sunny day in E-Town, Kentucky, your hometown. I'm going to run for Secretary of State as the Democratic candidate. I put together a good team. We'll start with the fun part of it, and that's my honorary co-chairman, our Coach Joby Hall and Coach Denny Crum.
Wow.
The former basketball coaches of UK and U of L. I created their radio show, and the Joby and Denny show, and we're in 21 markets across the state, and we have a lot of fun with it, and they're just terrific guys to work with, and they've agreed to be my honorary co-chairman for the campaign. Bill Bishop is my campaign manager. He just came out of the Jim Newberry for Mayor campaign in Lexington, in which they raised over $1 million. He was the finance chairman for Mayor Newberry, so we feel that we're going to be able to raise a lot of money for the effort to run for Secretary of State. My background includes, go back to the beginning in politics, I was the executive director of the Democratic Party, Jim, under John Y. Brown. And then I served with Governor Brown and his cabinet as personnel secretary. And then after that, I served in the cabinet for Mayor Scotty Basler and Mayor Pam Miller in Lexington, also as personnel commissioner and commissioner of risk management, the insurance policies in that program. And then I went to work in the Newberry campaign, which I just mentioned on Bill Bishop being my campaign manager. The Newberry campaign resulted in the large win over an incumbent, the mayor that he beat by 23 points. Now, I mention that because I will be running against an incumbent, but the difference, Jim, is that I'm going to be running as a Democratic candidate in a partisan race. Dick Robinson offers a choice. Dick Robinson offers a change. I believe sincerely that a majority of Kentuckians, Jim, want better government. I have a lot of ideas for Secretary of State that I think we can do. Briefly, to explain the position, and a lot of people need to know, there are a lot of duties of the Secretary of State, but the primary duty is that of being the chief election officer of the state, in charge of the 120 counties and seeing that we have fair and honest elections. There are a lot of issues in the Secretary of State's office and race. My emphasis will be on voter participation, and it'll include voter registration, trying to get into the school systems and have good civic education about voter participation, so we get the young people involved in knowing about government and with mock elections and things of that nature. I've studied a lot of the other states, Jim, and there are some simple things to do that just make common sense, but there are other more difficult things to do that cost a lot of money and have to do with bigger issues in voting. There are 3 issues nationally that other secretaries of state are tackling, and they make sense when you look at them initially, and that it's early voting, another is expanded hours, and another is trying to retrofit our machines so when the people vote electronically, they have confidence that their vote is going to count, and you can provide a paper trail on the voting process. I've talked to several county clerks. There's advantages and disadvantages to some of these big changes. Almost all the disadvantages have to do with cost, retrofitting machines, staffing, just the very cost of running these county elections by the county clerks. So we're going to examine all those and see if we can make some changes in Kentucky, especially in voter participation, so that all the Kentuckians would increase the number of voters, the registered voters that go to the polls, and try to do a good job that way. I have no problem with speaking about the issues. I think that I'm grounded and understand the issues, but I also think it's time for a change. I think that the Democratic Party is going to be heard from, as they were in the elections of 2006. Most of the people across the country and in Kentucky have given the Republicans a chance, and at the state level and also at the federal level, we'll let them be the judge of how happy they are with the way things are going and the job that the governor's done and the president's done, and then return us to the Democratic Party and the politics of Democrats, which we think bring back the values of faith and family and patriotism and good, honest, ethical government.
I just got to ask you this question. I just can't help myself. Which coach do you think was best in basketball, Denny, Denny or Joe B. Hall?
You're going to say I'm a politician when I answer this one. They both did a lot of things right. They both did a lot of things well. They both won national championships. Denny had 2, Joe had 1. Joe had more victories. I'm going to straddle the fence on that one, Jim. They're my friends, and I don't want to disappoint my friends. I like the red and I like the blue.
Well, listen, thanks a million for talking to Hillbilly Report, and we'll put this on the blog where everybody can see it.
It's been an honor. Just a pleasure to be with you, Jim.
You have a great day.
Thank you.